Hello, hello. I'm Juliana Hover, the plant-based dietitian, and this is the What Would Juliana Do Q&A. Today, I wanted to give you 5 reasons that I recommend ditching dairy. If you haven't done so already, here are 5 reasons that this is the first thing I recommend people get rid of in their diet to help optimize their nutrition and their health. The first reason is that dairy is hormonally active. You may hear people being concerned about the phytoestrogens found in things like soy foods, but dairy is actually hormonally active. It is mammalian milk, and so it stimulates growth, which is why it's so beneficial for a baby calf or a baby human or baby any other mammal to help grow. But of course, once you're full grown, growth is not necessarily a good thing. It can even be associated with things like cancer. So we don't need it, and it is hormonally active for real, not just phyto-wise. In fact, the phytoestrogens, which I will make another video about, are health promoting, unlike the estradiol found in dairy products. The second reason that I recommend ditching dairy is that upwards of 65 to even I've read accounts of 90% of different populations around the world are lactose intolerant, meaning after weaning, we stop producing lactase, which is the enzyme necessary to digest lactose, which is a major milk sugar found in dairy products. So the fact that most people, 65 to upwards of 90% of people, most people can't digest lactose. And they have some really uncomfortable gastrointestinal distress when they consume dairy products because they don't have the enzyme to digest it. Now, some people will force that on you and give you enzymes and tell you to suck it up and take the pain. But that to me is your body screaming, no, I don't need you. I don't want you. I don't need to consume this stuff. So that's quite an interesting little tidbit. The third reason I recommend not including dairy in your diet is that you don't need it for healthy bones. All of the nutrients that are touted in dairy products for bone health can be found elsewhere, and sometimes even better. In fact, there is even a study that shows that calcium from kale is better absorbed than the calcium from dairy milk, which is kind of interesting. But you can get the calcium in things like sesame seeds and tahini and almonds, and plant milks have the same amount of calcium as does dairy milk. And other things like oranges and figs. I did a whole video called Strong Bone Stir Fry where I talk about bone nutrition and bone health. So I recommend checking that out, and I will post that in the below. And that's the other thing. It's like you get vitamin D from milk, but you could also get the same amount that's fortified in both in the plant milks as well. You can get vitamin D from the sun. All of the things that are touted in there, the protein, you can get that from plant foods, and all those amino acids that you could find in legumes and nuts and seeds, and even in all the other plant foods contain essential amino acids as well. So all the nutrition you can get found better in plants without the harmful adverse effects of consuming dairy. The fourth reason I recommend ditching dairy is that dairy, especially cheese, is the #1 source for saturated fat. It's the primary place that people get their saturated fat from. Now, the American Heart Association still stands by the idea of getting no more than 5 to 6% of total calories from saturated fat in the diet. Now, a vegan diet that contains no animal products already consumes it ends up being about 5 to 6% of total calories from saturated fat. So you add in 1 serving of dairy or 1 serving of animal product or 1 serving of tropical oil like coconut oil or palm oil, and you're taking yourself over the top of the recommendations from even the American Heart Association. So that's for cardiovascular health, that's for the decrease your risk for or even reduce your incidence of type 2 diabetes. And it's linked to all sorts of other things when you're talking just alone about saturated fat. So you can just eliminate that by eliminating animal products. The fifth reason, especially dairy, the fifth reason I recommend ditching dairy is that there are so many plant-based options now. There's nothing that you can't replace in a plant-based way. Anything you could eat, I can make plant-based, especially today. Wallow milks at markets all around the world. You can get soy milk, hemp milk, oat milk, rice milk, cashew milk, hemp milk. There are so many different milks that can be used culinarily in so many different delicious ways and can replace exactly what you were using dairy products for. And they also have the same could be said for the plant-based cheeses and the plant-based yogurts. You can get anything plant-based now. So I recommend choosing plants, eat plants, drink plants, best for your health. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for joining me and for your wonderful comments and questions. Please keep them coming below and via my website, plantbaseddietitian.com. I will see you next time.